Hello YouTube, welcome back to a brand new video presented by Red Badger Politics, and here I am to discuss the latest bill presented by the legislature here in Wisconsin called the ROFR. So the ROFR has been in the news the last few weeks and was kind of going around during the spring election that just took place last week. So I'm going to give you the news, the most factual information I can give, and what this bill consists of. And so I found the source, Wisconsin Right Now, that breaks it down on what ROFR is. And it's caused a lot of divide and a lot of anger by Republican conservative grassroots and their opposition towards it. So here's what the bill is and why it seems to be really bad, and from what I've gathered, what it is really bad. So here's what I've found. A newly proposed bill would grant at least two Wisconsin-based companies, the American Transmission Company, ATC, and Xcel Energy, the right of first refusal. ROFR, for Wisconsin's electrical transmission lines, it would grant incumbent utility companies the right to construct new transmission projects before opening them up to competitive bidding from other potential developers. So, and here's why this is bad and why I agree with what it's proposing and why it's bad. So it seems like it basically grants a monopoly. So the Senate Bill 28 would give these companies a monopoly. The exclusive right to any regional transmission project authorized by Mid-Continent Independent System Operator, which is currently subject to a competitive bidding process. ROFR is a highly complex topic. ATC facility and spoke with representatives from both sides of the issue on several times. However, when it comes down, Republicans must rely on their underlying conservative principles. So it's arguing that it's not a conservative principle because conservatives generally are more supposed to be pro-free market. And the RFOR, which is right to first refusal, again, does that. It violates the free market because it basically gives these companies a monopoly, which generally they call it's more of a cartel, full control of our energy. And our energy is already too high because our primary energy here by We Energies owns a lot of it. So sounds like these energy companies are going to form a bigger cartel that will risk skyrocketing our electric grid power even more than it already is. So the problem is it's been ruled unconstitutional in other states because this has been tried other places. Minnesota has this. However, Iowa tried this and it was ruled unconstitutional because may give power to unions and closely scrutiny the fiscal arguments for it vaporize. So it basically gives more powers to the unions. So it's special interest, and both sides of the aisle are getting their special interest from this Kirk, which is so ironic to me because more Democrats agree with this than Republicans do, but yet Republicans are the ones introducing the bill because you have a handful of them that support this, and Robin Vos is one of those people. And people think he's so great. So continuing, the proponents argue, and this is the people for it, they're arguing that it helps ensure reliability and continuity in utility service as the incumbent utilities are familiar with the regional needs and existing infrastructure. However, critics assert that much legislation, hurts competitive forces and hurts the ability to bring down costs. Because generally less competition always ends up generating into higher costs. So that's that on more of the arguments against it, why for it and then against it. So reading a little bit more why it's being proposed some more. Now Wisconsin is the law is being promoted because Wisconsin's part of the MISO, which makes operational decisions for large transmission line and is responsible for long-range planning. So it's part of that Midwestern range. So, and the investment calls for a $21.8 billion for projects. So basically, this conglomerate wants all the power to all these contracts and projects. Plus, these utility companies are going to get lots of subsidies from the government, which we know how that works, how subsidies go. So that's why they seem to want it, because it's all the money. Now, without competition, Wisconsin taxpayers, again, it is important, expect higher rates of costs. It's basically a tax. Inflation is a tax. So that's why they want it. It's a special interest. So yes, they would be granted these projects. In other words, yes, these two companies will basically form a cartel, and they'll own all the contracts and projects, and they want all the power to it. So that yeah, I believe that is bad, especially with how much energy we need. We need competition. It's already expensive as it is. I think they're projecting that if this were to pass, you're expecting a 30% increase on your electricity utilities. So, let me see. What else does it say? Just giving you guys some facts. It also says that this also saves there's $1 billion saved. So a report commissioned by ATC claims that ratepayers could save $1 billion over a project's lifespan. A transmission lifespan is set at 40 years. That comes to only an estimated 63 cents saved monthly per Wisconsin ratepayer over 40 years. However, the claim of $1 billion in savings over 40 years shrinks to effectively zero from the time value of the money is considered. So this sounds to me, so it sounds to me that this not passing could save billions in savings for Wisconsinites. So, oh, my bad. It claims, however, the claim of 1 billion saving over 40 years, however, that seems to be debunked here. Because it assumes a new builder would have no ability to cost share throughout a 40-year lifespan. So it sounds like there's no evidence that it would actually do that. The people who are arguing for it think it could save $1 billion, which that doesn't seem to be the case. So again, this was tried in Minnesota, and it skyrocketed at least 30%. So again, okay, we already specify that courts rule it unconstitutional. It does benefit the union. The unions want this. I think Dems want it because, again, we know where the money's gonna end up going. So ultimately, don't have to read much more. It's basically just kind of redundant, but it basically, the biggest argument against it is potentially reducing the prices to 30%. It's anti-competitive and it's unconstitutional. And again, it's anti-conservative. And thing is, nobody wants this bill, but we're going to get it anyways because that's just how it worked here. With back to business as usual for our leadership in Wisconsin. So I'm going to show you guys this video from on X. I do get a lot of information on X too, so this is just where I go. You're going to see a lot of things that you're not going to see on the media. So I'm going to show you this this person by Kelly, and because apparently the bill that was taken off the table, but it sounds like they're trying to sneak it and trying to basically do a compromise bill, but it may just be the same bill under a different name to kind of fool people. Because as they say, you can put lipstick on a pig, but at the end of the day, it's still a pig. So anyway, here's the video, and I have the volume set up, but here we go.
We're hoping we'd let it go, that we'd just take their word for it and move on. And some Wisconsin state representatives were even telling their constituents that the ROFR bill was over, that it was done. And really, wouldn't they love that to be true? I mean, after the backlash that hit them last week, Wisconsinites know that in states where ROFR passed, customers saw their energy costs jump by an average of 27%. So yeah, we have every right to be angry. Our representatives are siding with big energy monopolies, knowing full well this kind of bill has jacked up energy costs for customers everywhere. ROFR still exists. It's just at the Capitol salon right now getting a full political extreme makeover. They're rebranding it, repackaging it, and hoping we won't notice what's underneath. The same monopoly scam from Senate Bill 28, but now with some kick-ass contouring and a wig. There's a preliminary draft circulating right now known as P4. It's not officially titled as a ROFR bill, but that's what it is. They've tucked the same provisions from Senate Bill 28 into a broader utility package, making it less obvious. But buried inside, a right of first refusal clause. It's Senate Bill 28 in disguise, a legislative Trojan horse smuggling in monopoly protections dressed up as boring government housekeeping. And from what I'm hearing, a preliminary 5 version is already in the works. So if your rep tries telling you ROFR's off the table, they're either lying, clueless, or counting on you being just gullible enough to fall for it. And if anyone tries to minimize your concern over ROFR, even President Trump's own Department of Justice said, yeah, this is a problem. In March 2025, the DOJ issued a letter slamming ROFR legislation in Iowa, the same kind of monopoly handout we're now fighting here in Wisconsin. The DOJ said ROFR laws would foreclose competition, raise prices, and lower the quality of service for electricity customers. They also made it clear this kind of legislation flies in the face of Trump's own Executive Order 14156, issued this past January when he declared a national energy emergency. In that executive order, Trump called for a reliable, diversified, and an affordable supply of energy. And he warned that high energy prices are devastating Americans, especially those on low and fixed incomes. ROFR does the exact opposite. It protects incumbent utilities from competition, it raises prices, it limits innovation, and it undermines the goals laid out in Trump's own energy order. So ask yourself, why are so many Wisconsin lawmakers still pushing ROFR? Well, look no further than the Dirty Dozen, the 12 politicians who've taken the most money from big energy companies. And keep in mind, there are many more. These are just the top 12. And 9 of them are Republicans. You know, the same Trump-supporting Republicans who were quick to celebrate him being back in office. So why are they backing a monopoly bill that his own DOJ warned Iowa about? And why wouldn't they apply that same logic to Wisconsin? It's hard to say, unless you follow the money. Now it's up to us to keep the pressure on. You see how badly they want to sneak this bill through. If you haven't contacted your representatives yet, or even if you already have, do it again. Not sure who your reps are or how to reach them? Just check out the information right here on the screen, the website, and the hotline. Tell them no to ROFR in any form, under any name. Your voice matters, your pressure works, so don't let up now.
Okay, so that's that video there. So that gives you a breakdown of what they're trying to do some more. So you can hear it from a different person who's done a little bit more digging than even I have on it. So, but yeah, that's This is so yeah. They try. They're lying and they're trying to think that they defeated it, but are just repackaging it so we won't notice. So we basically just shut up. Basically, that's what they do. And here are the leaders that are basically backing it, and these are 7 leaders that you should know who are backing it. Both Democrats and Republicans. So here are at least. Let me see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's at least 12 of them. We know there's more. She specified that there's more, but these are the top 12 that you should know. So Tony Evers seemed to receive $177,000 from. He took money from these companies. You have Devin Limau. He received like $46,000, a Republican. Mary Filowski, another Republican, received $27,000 from these companies. You have David Stephan took another $24,000. You have Julian Bradley. I think he's the Senate Majority Leader of this Senate, I believe. He took $22,000. You have Howard Marklin. He received $21,000. Another Republican, Dan Feehan, another $19,000. You have Tyler August, another $18,000. You have Patrick Teston, another $18,000 they took. And then you have Robin Voss. What do you know? Robin Voss, which is the assembly leader of the House here in Wisconsin, he took another $18,000. Then you have Brad Pfaff, took another a Democrat, took $17,000. And you have $16,000. Sarah Rodriguez. I believe she's the lieutenant governor. All took money, and those are just 12 of them. Thing is, most Republicans are against it, but you have at least these handful of Republicans taking it. And of course, they're like the leadership roles of the legislature, but this is what they're doing. You can't make this up, people. You can't make this up. And this is what they were doing while Brad Schimmel, the conservative judge that lost, while he was busting his butt trying to win, this is what they were focused on while he was running. This is maddening, and what's sad is not enough people know about it because the media won't talk about it. They will not talk about it. They just won't talk about it. So, yeah, just angersome. This is what Wisconsin politics is like. This is what it's like for us here. They really think we're foolish and dumb. They go on X and Twitter. They pretend to be all conservative. And this is what they come with. And again, they know that especially the Republican, they know this is devastating. This is devastating, but they're going to pass it anyways because this is what the money. They're getting lobbied. Both sides have been lobbied heavily. But again, this is special interests at its finest. You can't make this up. And you wonder why Republicans especially can't win statewide races here. This is what they do to us. This is what they do. This is why you have those Trump or bust voters. This is why only Trump can win this state. Because look at the Republicans we've been having for the last 20 years. Ineffective. And they betray us each and every time. We've went through crazy making sure they keep this legislature, and we did. We fought like hell keeping their legislative majority when the Dems rigged it in their favor, and they managed to keep it. But then this is how they repay us every time. Unbelievable. Now, again, I don't know if we'll be defeated or not. It hasn't officially passed yet. but so maybe there's still a chance, but I really recommend that we call, you call your leaders, you get more informed with this, because this is just not good. So, I mean, I can, after this video, I will post maybe the information on how to maybe contact your reps against this, to kind of protest against this, because this is unacceptable, and nobody wants this bill. Republican, Democrat, Independent, Libertarian, nobody wants this bill, but we're on process of getting it anyways. So anyway, this is all I have for you now. Again, I will link this article from where I got this information from, so you guys can have a source to read. I did get this from a news source called Wisconsin Now. They're kind of an independent media, but they do pretty well at covering a lot of the stuff the media won't report to you. So I recommend, again, they're called Wisconsin Right Now, so I would recommend signing up to them so you can receive their newsletters and coverage on what's going on. They're the only way you're going to kind of get an illustration of what's really going on, because you're not going to get it from your local media, which is really just corporate leftism and Democrat PACs, super PACs. So to show for them and the establishment. So anyway, this is all I have for you now. Again, I'll link the some of these information at the bottom. I will link the information on maybe how to contact your representatives. But yeah, so I don't know what you all think. What do you guys think about this right to first refusal? I mean, it definitely seems it's just a bunch of special interests, anti-market, and it already seems to be proven unconstitutional. So yeah, I'm gonna say no. But again, let me know what you all think. Comment, subscribe if you like if you like this channel. Again, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. But that's all I have for you now. Red Badger Politics out.